Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to review a game that I played the demo of called Tainted Grail, Fall of Avalon. This game is a fairly new game. It's in the making. They don't have any release date for it yet. This game is coming out for the PS5, the Xbox Series, and the PC. You can also find it on Steam, the demo on Steam. And on top of that, it's also supposedly going to be co-op. Not multiplayer, not that massive multiplayer online stuff, co-op. So 1 to 4 players, at least that's what they're saying. Anyway, I wanted to do a quick review about this game because I saw that someone was playing it on YouTube, and I was like, wow, this game looks fairly interesting. Let me go and check it out. I actually went through the whole demo, and I have to say, this game, for the most part, impressed me. It definitely reminded me of Oblivion, and it took me a little while to get used to the controls. You'll see in some of this footage that I'm still struggling with them a little bit. However, I did finish the demo. It took me a couple hours, and it was a pretty good little demo. Let's go hear what they say right here, and then I'll get back to you.
Camelot is in shambles as Avalon fractures into chaos. Old legends are gone, and the weirdness is creeping back into our lands. The bleeding heart.
All right, anyway, that's enough of that. That's basically the intro, at least part of it. I didn't want to go through too much of the intro because I kind of want to keep this fairly short. Like I said, it is still in production, so we're limited to what we can do as of right now. I do not know if that's going to change or not. I'm going to run through this really quick. I'm just going to throw a character together really fast. It'll just show you a couple of quick things that you can choose, and we will continue on to some of the game footage that I have. I pretty much made just a random character to continue with, so let's go. All right, so that's good enough. So we start off in a dungeon, and this is, like I said a little bit earlier, very Bethesda-like. But after this, I'm gonna show you a couple of things that I ran into. There's about 3 different areas that they have in the demo that you can actually get to as of right now, and we're finally going to get into a little bit of gameplay.
We just have to get this over and done with.
So very much like the way the Oblivion starts, you do have a guard
trust me,
that is interrogating you.
just like before.
He's going to say some stuff, blah blah blah, whatever, so on and so forth. Just talk to him, tell him what you are, whatever. This helps you kind of build your character's style of gameplay. So there's a couple options there already, built in. And he's just going to just whatever. Then there's going to be someone that's going to help you out. They open up the place up, and you take his stuff. We're going to go equip it, and we're going to try to get out of this dungeon level. Now, this dungeon level, I guess it's like a castle dungeon or something like that. This is pretty much where the demo takes place. So a lot of the footage that you will see in this little review is in this original spot. There is a couple different places that I'm not actually showing because if you are interested in checking the demo out, you can download it on just about any console or any PC that's out there, as long as it has Windows 10 or higher for the PCs. And the consoles, of course, as long as it's a newer console, like PS5 or the Xbox Series S or X. And here is our first enemy. It is an undead zombie guy. This is how the fighting is. It's a little bit slow paced, and there's a lot of blocking, swinging, stepping back, letting them swing, blocking and swinging again. At least that's with like a blunt object or with like, I guess, a sword or something. There's also, you can use a bow and arrow. These enemies are fairly challenging, especially in the very beginning here. And you can change the difficulty from story mode all the way up to hard mode if you want. For whatever reason, when I captured this, some of the video froze up a little bit. That did not happen when I was actually playing the demo. Let's just finish these guys off real quick, and we'll go to the next spot. As you can see, when your life gets really low, you start getting this red aura around you, which is kind of annoying. So let's move on to the next part. At this point in the demo, I did find a bow and arrow, and I was just going through this little kind of like dungeon place. It's very reminiscent of an older RPG specifically around like 2005, 2006. However, the graphics are definitely a little bit better. The game itself, the demo anyway, is 26 gigs to download, and it's a free demo. So if any of this piques your interest, please check it out. Like I said, you can find it on Steam, you can find it on the PS5, and you can find it on the Xbox Series X or S. This is just one of the characters that I ran into, and I helped her out. I think at one point I went back in through the dungeon. I found like some potions or something, and I gave her a potion of health or something like that, and she actually gave me some sort of ring in place of that potion, which helped me like get through the rest of the level. Like I said, these enemies are fairly difficult. The fighting style is slow paced, and you have to kind of be patient with it. And the enemies are fairly challenging, so you have to kind of take your time with them. And you just have to be precise when it comes to trying to like parry stuff and that type of deal. Now, I definitely wouldn't suggest this game for a younger audience. This is definitely a mature game. There is a lot of gore, there is a lot of blood, there is some mild nudity that I ran into. So be aware of that if you do decide to check this game out. This is definitely for an adult, not for like a child. And there is a lot of pacing. You do have to take your time. The more stuff that you explore, the better you're off, because you can find like a lot of cool things. You can find different potions. You can find ingredients to mix these potions. You can also find a lot of lore that's already in the game, and like I said, this is only the demo, and there's already tons of lore in it. The lore kind of reminds me of like similar to like The Witcher 3's lore, but the gameplay itself is definitely more Bethesda-like. And some of the areas that I ran into are fairly grotesque, and also some of the enemies are grotesque, especially when I ran into kind of like I guess it's like sort of like a mini boss. The mini boss was very difficult, but luckily I found some stuff that helped me out through it. And like I said before, you can always change the difficulty at any time. I believe you can save at any time also. You don't have to worry about that. Now, from what I've read and what I've actually researched about this game is that there is already about 30 hours on average of gameplay. That includes a little bit of the main quest, that includes a little bit of the side quests, and that's the average. There's other people who took a longer time to go through the gameplay. I'm one of them, because I took my time to go through all these different areas, and that person kind of scared me a little bit. But anyway, yeah, like I was saying, it is very mature. It can be grotesque. There's some areas that are pretty eerie. There's definitely these really dark undertones with the lore and the areas that you find and whatnot, but there's also some beauty that I've actually seen in the game, which I will show later on. So right here is right after I got out of the dungeon. It was a little bit early in the morning, so the sun hasn't completely come out yet, but you can already see it. There's different like undertones of the sky. The sky is very detailed. There is also some random statues floating about, and as far as I understand, there is a night and day cycle, so all this weather, all this and the time of day will change as you progress through this game. And also you can crouch and you can find little sneaky little areas, little crevices, little caves and whatnot. There's always some sort of loot to pick up, and this game does a good job with the callback of the old RPGs that a lot of people that are in the 30s, 40s, 50s, and even some older fell in love with back in the day. But anyway, that pretty much will be the end of my review. As far as I could tell, this game definitely has a lot of potential. It's definitely going to be a game that's going to take a while. It's going to probably be a slow-paced game. There's a lot of lore, so it's one of those games that's going to take time to get through. But anyway, right here, this is just kind of like a cutscene that they showed after I beat the demo. And I'm not going to show all of it, but I'm going to share some of it with you. And hopefully, maybe this game piqued your interest if you have like that Elder Scrolls, I guess they call it Elder Scrolls itch. This may be the one. I don't know. We'll see in the future. Anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will catch you in the next one. You have a good evening, morning, or afternoon, whatever it is, where you're at. Goodbye now.